Tank, he got the power, and he got the equalizers. Anything can happen with Tank. But Tank give away a lot of rounds.
Big with 1,000 keys on it, but every key they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving, I'm saying he's just with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
A chess match.
Did you understand in that moment, like, why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys.
Carmelo Moton sends a strong warning to Lamont, urging him to think twice before stepping back into the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis. After Tank's latest transformation, Carmelo makes it clear Davis is now stronger, sharper, and more dangerous than ever. He reminds everyone why Tank is considered the face of boxing. With Davis, anything can happen. Carmelo says going for a rematch isn't just a fight, it's a huge risk.
Guys, put the pressure, he got some skills himself, and I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. I know I'm the better fighter, the more sharper fighter, and I know I'm working harder than him. So, we're gonna see. But I know that I have what it takes, and I'm gonna prove it on the first.
Gervonta Davis's latest training video has fans buzzing. In just a few seconds of gym footage, it's obvious he's in beast mode. Tank looks stronger, faster, and more focused than ever. Every punch he throws is quick, sharp, and on target. People are saying this isn't just training, it's domination in the making. His intense form shows he's dead serious about this rematch. Carmelo Moton shares a powerful story from when he sparred with Gervonta Davis. He speaks with real respect and caution. Tank didn't just hit hard, he moved with perfect timing and non-stop pressure. Carmelo felt how Davis breaks fighters down, making them fight just to survive. That session taught him exactly why even top-level fighters struggle with Tank. It's not just about strength, it's a mental battle too.
What was it like when you sparred him? I know you sparred Tank early on.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Like, replay that experience for me. Like, you coming out of it, what was your thought?
Yeah, I was nervous at first. I think I was 15 at the time we sparred, so he wasn't really like trying to knock me out or nothing like that. But we was going like, he was using the speed on me. Like, we was both like going speed for speed, and it was great. It was like a chess match.
Did you understand in that moment, like, why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys. Then I also seen why I'm I got all this hype around me too.
Even knowing the danger, Carmelo once said he wanted to fight Davis before the champ retires. It wasn't about pride, it was about proving himself. He believed that going up against someone as complete as Gervonta would show where he truly stood. It was a risky dream, but it showed his heart. He respects greatness enough to want to face it up close, no matter the cost.
He is a big fight. Do you think Tank will retire before you can, because there is a small possibility. He's still at 35, so maybe you can catch him at 40 in 5 years, right? He's, 29? He'll be 29 November, or he's 29 now? One of the two. So he'll be 30. Technically, it'll be like him fighting Loma. Loma's 36. Or you don't even think about that?
I don't think about it. I'm not really focused on it. I'm focused on now, my upcoming fights. Take one fight at a time, but who knows what the future holds. I do know Tank said that he ain't want to be around that much longer though. From what he said, take care, not Devin no more. He don't even want to fight Devin no more. But Shakur, what's he said, Tiafimo? I think he said he wanted to retire, but who knows?
People often compare Carmelo to Davis, and he doesn't get offended. Instead, he sees it as a compliment. Being mentioned with a star like Gervonta shows how far he's come. Carmelo knows Davis is more than a champion, he's a legend, known for exciting fights and big moments. The comparison pushes Carmelo to reach that same level and prove he belongs in that conversation.
A lot of people compare you to Tank. When you hear that, like when they call you Tank 2.0 or whatever the case is, how do you feel about that?
I used to take it as like a compliment. When I was an amateur, I used to take it as a compliment. But they comparing me to Tank, he face of boxing, like the biggest names in the sport, real high skill. But now I feel like I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to be the 2.0 or nobody. I want to be the first me, and make my own name.
Oscar De La Hoya, a legend in the sport, has shared his thoughts on the upcoming showdown. He gives credit to Lamont Roach for his skills and technique, but doesn't sugarcoat his opinion on Davis. De La Hoya says Roach is stepping into the ring with a whole new level of danger. Tank's aggression and fight IQ are on another tier, in his eyes. This fight isn't just tough, it's flat out risky for Roach.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. You know, watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations sometimes at will, without you even knowing it. You know, he's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But, you know, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch.
Frank Martin gave an honest take as the rematch draws near. He respects Lamont's abilities, but warns that the night will be far from smooth. Martin believes Davis's mix of power and control will slowly wear Roach down. He predicts Tank will keep the pressure on until Lamont is just trying to hang on. It's not just about punches. Martin knows the mental pressure Davis puts on opponents from the very start is just as brutal.
They're trying to give that fight more of a, like, oh, it's going to be a good fight, but no. Roach is a decent fighter, but Tank on dog him. Tank on dog him.
For sure, I agree.
Steven Espinoza brings a wider angle to the talk. He points out that Davis is at his absolute best at 135 pounds. That's where his speed and power are in perfect sync. While Tank has fought at 140, Espinoza says lightweight is where he truly shines. He also mentions that big fights, like one with Shocker Stevenson, fell through behind the scenes due to contract issues, but still, Espinoza is confident Davis is on a path to even bigger things.
Yeah, for sure.
Waking up in Texas and coming over here, I'm like, geez, that cold is different, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven, Tank versus Lamont Roach, right? March 1st, we're going to get this fight here in New York. There are a lot of questions of why Lamont Roach, right? Let's not discredit him. He's a great fighter, great chin, high IQ. But why Lamont Roach? That's the questions that all the fans are asking at the beginning.
Look, I think the reality is, I think those are fair questions. I mean, look, when you have fighters the caliber of Tank, you know, of Canelo, the bar is always high. You know, when you continue to perform well against high level opposition, you know, people expect a lot from, you know, there were preliminary discussions about the Shakur fight, you know, early on, like back early, you know, for 2024 before this was scheduled. Didn't get very far for reasons I won't go into. But
come on.
You know, I just think there were, you know, I'm not sure that the time was right. I think, you know, what Shakur was looking for was something different than, you know, he was looking for more of a long-term commitment other than just doing one fight, you know, and so he's got his deal, you know, he's getting busy, he's got a fight scheduled, and, you know, maybe we'll pick up and do something there. But aside from that, I mean, to be candid, you know, those are the big names at 135. I know Tank has gone up to 140, and he would on occasion. He hasn't looked the best there. You know, overall, I think 135 is his best weight.
Inside Davis's camp, training isn't just tough, it's dominant. One moment stood out. Tank reportedly dropped a sparring partner with a single punch. Even veteran coaches were stunned. But this isn't unusual for Davis. His power and training is just as real as in the ring. His mindset is locked in. This time, it's not just about winning the rematch, it's about sending a message. He's getting ready to make a serious statement.
Yeah. Once Tank feel a little more power, you actually need to take Gervonta's power. I don't think anybody can take his power. You know he knocked out heavyweights?
Yeah, I was there.
Tell me the story. What happened?
What's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Tank, is that true? You almost killed a heavyweight in the ring? That's what he said. should be happening. Because he asked me, how does a 135-pounder take your power? I said, I don't think anybody takes the power. Just not getting there with me. That's it. That's how they do it. Were you shocked when you saw that?
Huh?
Were you shocked?
I was just like, man, he cannot do that shit to me.
And you know what else he told me? You punched him upstairs, he lost feeling in his leg. No, he did. You told me that, right?
Keep it a beat.
No, it happened.
You right?
What's he? Yeah.
Lamont Roach isn't walking into this fight hoping for a lucky break. He's stepping in as a fighter who's been through the fire and come out stronger. With only one loss, Roach has sharpened his game-blending clean technique with smart, patient movement. He's learned from his past and turned it into fuel now. With sharper timing and a focused mind, he's not just aiming to survive Tank, he's coming to truly test him.
Tank out here selling under 150,000 pay-per-views, you kidding me? Oh man, Face of Boxing, yeah, turn that shit off. Yeah, we shutting that shit down every single time. Does Shakur really want to fight Tank? I think Shakur could sell a bit more with somebody else, especially in Saudi. I feel like they can find him a dancing partner that'll do a little bit better than 150,000. Okay, I get it. This is why PBC delayed this fight for what, 5 months? Y'all ain't want to pay this motherfucker because y'all know he can't sell. I mean, this should have been evident. If you do the math, Tank has never been that great of a pay-per-view draw. He sold over 300K twice now in his career. He sold over 300K with Ryan Garcia. That's obvious. Ryan's the bigger star. And then he sold over 300 with Martin. He sold about 325. But when we put it in perspective, that Frank Martin fight was a comeback fight after a year layoff, so it was always going to sell. Every comeback fight's going to sell. It was one of the first pay-per-views on Amazon's new PBC deal, so they were really trying to push it. And then he had David Benavidez as the co-main event with Gary Russell and Alberto Puello under them. You take away all those factors that this wasn't a comeback fight. David Benavidez isn't the co-main event, and Amazon has now been in the game for over a year. It makes sense it only sold 150. I know there's going to be a couple of you guys in the comments. No, it sold 500K. Don't be so gullible. They didn't sell 500K. I don't know if Tank's a top... Well, I know for a fact he's not a top 5 draw in the sport of boxing anymore. Well. He's not selling pay-per-views. Bivol better be up just triple him. Well, Jerry, their pay-per-views are cheaper. Don't matter. All that matters is who has more eyes watching him, and Bivol and Better BF do. Tank does not.
Roach's record deserves real respect. He's held world titles and proven he belongs at the championship level. While Davis often takes center stage, Lamont has quietly built his own legacy with skill and consistency. His wins show he's not just tough, he's a smart, composed fighter under pressure. Some critics miss this, but Roach stands out because he doesn't fold, he adjusts, regroups, and fights back. When their first fight ended in a draw, it shook the boxing world. For the first time in years, people started questioning if Davis was truly unbeatable. That draw wasn't just numbers, it was a crack in Tank's armor. Suddenly, Roach's performance wasn't overlooked, it became a blueprint for how to challenge Davis.
Looks like a real businessman now, you know? He's not all loud and crazy like he was. He's kind of calmed it and tamed it down, toned it down a bit. So I respect that with Ryan, man, and I think he's gonna be a lot more focused now, and he's actually gonna go and train, and he's gonna definitely put on a show, and I think he's gonna win, man. I think he's gonna win by knockout.
How long does that fight go, in your opinion?
It won't go past 6.
Wow, everyone's been saying that.
I don't think it goes past 6.
Why?
What's up, fam?
Why do you guys think it?
Nah, just too many hoes in the game of too many hoes in this game.
Cut that right on out. Okay, cut that out.
Too many hoes in this game, man. Y'all know, man. Come on, ain't nobody stupid. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder here can see that he got a lot of hoes in this game, man. You know, he's very unconventional, but you know, got some pop on his shots, but that's it. You know, I think Ryan's gonna catch him with that left hook, and it's gonna be night-night.
How shocking would it be if Rolly pulled the upset?
That'll be shocking as hell if Rolly pulled off the upset. But I think Rolly's damaged goods, man. I mean, if you look at his last couple of fights, bro, he hasn't been the same since he got knocked out by Gervonta Davis, bro. He hasn't been the same. You know, sometimes one fight can ruin your entire career, man. He's just not the same. He's not the same mentally. He's not the same physically, bro. And after he left his coach, the coach has been, that was coaching starting out, Bullet. He looks a little different. No disrespect to anybody that's working with him now, but he just looks different, bro. He's not the same fighter.
What about Devin returning against Ramirez?
Good fight, but Devin should be able to outbox Ramirez. I love Ramirez to death. I love him to death, but he can be outboxed. You know, he comes forward. He got great left hook. We're going to see if Devin learned anything. A little slower with the left hook, but Ramirez got pop. He got pop on that left hook, man. So it's a good test for Devin, because you already know what's lined up.
After the fight, Davis's reaction sparked controversy. Instead of giving Roach credit, he blamed personal problems and ring rust. Many in the boxing world weren't impressed. They felt Davis was avoiding the truth that Roach had pushed him hard. Sure, Tank can talk about his own struggles, but critics say brushing off a tough fight can come off as disrespectful. It takes away from Roach's growth and performance, and that didn't sit well with fans who wanted honesty and sportsmanship.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already known, but the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Through all the talk, one thing is still clear. Gervonta Davis is a master of in-ring adjustments. When the pressure rises, he doesn't lose control, he shifts gears. His ability to read opponents, change pace, and find openings is what makes him elite. He can flip from defense to offense, or take over the ring space with perfect timing. Even when things don't start his way, he finds a response. That kind of flexibility makes him one of the most dangerous fighters out there.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. A lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you. He reminds me of the old-time janitors, the superintendents in the big buildings, those big buildings, and they had a big brass key ring about this big with 1,000 keys on it. But every key, they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
You're great with the analogies. I love that. I love the analogies.
And he finds the right key.
He does.
He doesn't walk into a room and like, bang, oh my God, I shouldn't open that door. And a lot of guys do. Romero walked into that room. Garcia walked into that room, So he don't, and that's part of what separates him and makes him a guy that's one of the most complete fighters right now of all time.
That's it.
That's it for today's video. Be sure to stay tuned for what's coming next.